Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is Monday, June 24th, 2019. What a jam-packed Monday we have, and it's not so much in the form of world news today, not so much, but on the arrival of Dr. Valentina Zarkova's paper that was released today on nature.com, but we will get to that here just in a bit. Let's get started with some space news. Taking a look at our solar wind speeds, right now sitting at a 318.6 kilometers per second with a density of 4.3. Let's go ahead and check out SPACEWEATHER.com. We are still blank on sunspots. There was this morning an indication that we might have a possibility of a sunspot forming in the equatorial region of the sun. But so far, the 36 days without sunspots appears to be intact. That's 109 for 2019, 62% of the year without sunspots. So we will continue to watch that area for any development whatsoever. Our TCI coming in at 3.52. And let's go over to the grandsolarminimum.com and check out our space weather stats. And our KP indices aren't jumping up any more higher than a 2 at this point. Right now we're sitting at a KP of 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at our SDO in motion. And right now we don't have any large coronal holes to speak of at this moment. I will point out the area that we were watching for possibility of activity. And it appears that looking at the SDO, we see the birth of this region, but again, not much happening since. But they did circle it, so it was something of interest for SPACEWEATHER.com. But at this time, we are not seeing any indication that this could become a sunspot, although we will continue to monitor it. And let's check out the big picture here. And right now we have some active regions coming across the eastern limb, and what does appear to be a decent sized coronal hole as well. So we will keep our eyes. We've been spotless for 36 straight days. Will that streak come to an end here in the near future? And how much will that coronal hole grow as well? Let's take a look at TSI. Yes, we actually have some consistent TSI data to report tonight. Now this is for June 15th, 2019. We are jumping all the way down to 1360.59. Now, over the past several weeks, we've experienced an increase of a little bit to the 1360.7 range and higher, actually getting over the 0.8 region. So we were flirting with the possibility of 1361. As high as we got was 13.60.82, 86. 86 is what it's saying here, and that was as of June 11th. So we peaked out 1360.86, not quite 1361, but since then have seen a pretty sharp decline back into 1360.5 range. And let's go ahead and take a look at our GSM Earth and Space news. Colorado's snowpack explodes. All right, Colorado snowpack explodes to 4,121% above normal. 4,000% above normal. Snow began falling above the 2,100 meter feet, 21 meter level, just west of Denver, on Colorado on Friday, June 21st, accumulating nearly to 20 inches of snow over the weekend and boosting the state's snowpack extraordinary levels for the first time of the year. Although the state snowpack was off the charts, above 751% above normal, even before heavy snowfall on the first day of summer, the event was just a continuation of an extra snowy year since January. When we add all the snow that fell on June 21st, the state snowpack exploded to 4,121% above normal. Steamboat was one of the places that received 20 inches of snow on June 21st. Let me repeat that, folks. 20 inches of snow fell on the first day of summer in Steamboat, Colorado, making it the first measurable snow this late in the season since June 17th, 1928. Steamboat averages about 0.1 inches of snow in June and normally sees its last day of snow around May 6th, making June 21st a very rare snow. Now, if next year is going to be worse than this, then what is 20 inches of snow going to look like next year? Is it not even going to be touching the record? Is it going to be half of what we could expect for the month of June? Or more? Just amazing that we're still, I know this is up in the mountains, I get it, but still, they don't usually have a snowfall past May 6th. We're well over a month and a half, and we're still getting 20 inches of snow at certain elevations. High country west of Denver now resembles midwinter with enough snow at ski resorts to keep them open into July and possibly August. Just 2 months ago, more than half of the state was in a drought, but with all the snow and precipitation since January, the drought has now ended. At the same time, elevated snowpack and runoff are expected to lower Colorado's wildfire risk through the summer. Better be concerned for landslides and flooding, as well as we are expected to warm up across the Central Plains at some point this year. I know it don't feel like it. Let's switch gears here. India under acute water crisis, 80% of reservoirs below normal storage right now. According to the data provided by the Central Water Commission, of the 91 major reservoirs in the country, 80% have storage below normal. Of these, 11 have 0% storage, making the water crisis acute. While the official rainfall season starts on June 1st and lasts through September 30th, the overall monsoon deficiency until June 22nd still remains around 39%. Of the 36 meteorological subdivisions, 25% have recorded deficient rainfall, while 6 subdivisions recorded precipitation classified under the large deficient category. The situation is expected to improve with southwest monsoon advancing into East Uttar Pradesh, parts of central Maharashtra, and most parts of Marathwada and Vidarbha. And please forgive me, folks, if I mispronounce any of those countries over there in India. I do not mean any disrespect, but just to show you that we're equal here at Grand Solar Minimum, we do report on drought and we do report on heat, and this is just as a serious issue as it would be as getting summer snow in Colorado. I wish there was a way to export some of this extra precipitation and water that we have here in the States and give it to these parts of the world that are in acute crisis right now because of the lack of rain. That is actually right now 11 have 0% storage out of the 91 major reservoirs. 2 is too many. 11 is alarming. So we'll keep our eyes on this situation. It's not one thing, it's another for India. And our thoughts and prayers are with those folks out there as well. Melbourne experiences its coldest June day since, right about, what was that year again? We just missed it here. Since 1985. Low temperature records tumble across southeast Australians woke up Sunday morning to a thick blanket of fog engulfing their city, and it hung around all day, holding temperatures at record low levels. The city of Melbourne reached a maximum temperature of 49.3 degrees on Sunday, officially its coldest day since 1985, also noted as the solar minimum of cycle 20. Other record lows over the weekend include 38 degrees in South Australia's grape growing region, its coldest day in 37 years, with the region also extending its chilly run of mornings dipping below 28.4 degrees Fahrenheit, to where they have not seen this kind of temperature drops in 47 years. It was the coldest in 12 years in nearby Mount Gambier over the weekend, 28 degrees Fahrenheit, while 12-year lows were also observed in Queensland, Birdsville, and St. George, with the mercury sinking to 32 degrees 0.9 Fahrenheit and 26.8 degrees respectively. An 8-year cold record tumbled following a 25.2 degrees in New South Wales. In Moree, the 33-degree record in SA's Coober Pedy, and the 25.2 in SA's Narakut. And the wintry conditions continued into Monday, with morning commuters battling freezing temperatures with severe frost across much of the southeastern Australia, with the BOM even issuing a frost warning for the region. The cold times are returning as the sun enters its next grand solar minimum cycle. Again, you can find this article electroverse.net. We'll also leave the link here on the website. Some good information. They show a little bit about the solar cycles, where we are right now. Greenland, the amount of snow. Here we have the Northern Hemisphere snow mass totals graph as well. So very good website for information as well. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.